They didn't fear Tiger Woods because he talked too much. They feared him because he didn't have to. The moment Tiger stepped onto a golf course, the entire atmosphere changed. Crowds grew louder, rivals grew quieter, and legends of the game suddenly looked human. This wasn't just greatness, this was pressure you could feel in your chest. Opponents knew that one mistake, one missed putt, one weak front nine, and Tiger would smell blood. That's what made him terrifying. He didn't just beat golfers, he broke their confidence, stole their momentum, and turned Sunday into a nightmare. Some of the biggest names in golf have admitted the same thing in different words. When Tiger was locked in, you weren't playing against a man. You were trying to survive a force, and that force changed golf forever. Before Tiger Woods started destroying scorecards, the golf world still believed greatness had a certain look, a certain style, and a certain limit. Then Tiger arrived and erased all of it. He wasn't just talented, he was explosive, fearless, and completely convinced that every tournament belonged to him. Even as a young player, he carried himself like someone who had already seen the future, and in that future, everyone else was chasing him. Veterans noticed it immediately. There was no hesitation in him, no awe, no nerves, no respect for golf's old hierarchy. He attacked courses with a level of belief that felt almost unnatural. That was the first warning sign. Long before Tiger became the biggest name in golf, the legends around him could already sense something dangerous was coming, and once it arrived, and the sport was never the same again. What made Tiger Woods truly terrifying was not just the trophies, the highlights, or the Sunday roars. It was the feeling he created before the tournament even really began. Golf is supposed to be a game of patience, rhythm, and calm decision making. But when Tiger was in the field, that calm disappeared. Players weren't only trying to beat the course anymore, they were trying to survive the pressure of knowing Tiger could erase a two-shot lead in minutes and make even world-class golfers panic. That fear showed up in small moments. A missed fairway suddenly felt bigger. A short putt felt heavier. One bad hole could feel like the end of the entire week because everyone knew Tiger had the rare ability to turn momentum into destruction. And once he sensed weakness, he attacked without mercy. He played with a level of focus that made his opponents feel watched, hunted, almost trapped. Many great golfers have talked about how different it felt when Tiger was charging up the leaderboard. The crowd changed, the noise changed, the energy changed, even the players changed. That is what separated him from ordinary champions. Tiger didn't just compete in tournaments, he took control of them emotionally. And in a sport built on confidence, that kind of presence was absolutely terrifying. Tiger Woods did not need mind games in the traditional sense. He did not have to shout, stare people down, or make wild promises. His greatest weapon was control. While other players fought nerves, pressure, and doubt, Tiger looked like a man operating in a different reality. The bigger the moment became, the calmer he seemed. And that calm was devastating because every rival knew they were facing someone who actually enjoyed the pressure they were trying to survive. That is where the fear became mental. Tiger had the killer instinct of a champion who never let opponents breathe. If he saw an opening, he pushed harder. If someone made a mistake, he punished it immediately. He had this ability to make one birdie feel like three because it often came at the exact moment another player was hanging on emotionally. That is how tournaments slipped away. Not always through one huge collapse, but through the slow, crushing realization that Tiger was taking control and there was nothing you could do to stop it. His focus was another level of intimidation. Shot after shot, hole after hole, he stayed locked in with almost machine-like discipline. Rivals were not just trying to play great golf, they were trying to match a level of mental strength that very few human beings have ever possessed, and most of the time they simply could not. Then came the dominance, the part that turned Tiger Woods from a superstar into something far more intimidating. Great players usually have hot stretches. Tiger had entire eras. He didn't just win tournaments, he overwhelmed them. Week after week, major after major, he made elite competition look ordinary. And that is what truly shook the golf world. These were not average players he was beating. These were champions, veterans, and future Hall of Famers. And yet, when Tiger was at his peak, many of them looked like they were fighting for second place. What made it even scarier was how complete his game was. If the course demanded power, Tiger had it. If it demanded precision, he had that too. If the tournament turned ugly and became a battle of nerves, that might have been his favorite kind of fight. There was simply no obvious weakness to attack. Rivals could not wait for him to crack because more often than not, he became stronger when the pressure increased. His dominance changed expectations in golf. Winning once was no longer enough. Contending was no longer impressive. Tiger forced the entire sport to raise its standard because he played like someone who believed history itself was the minimum requirement. And when one man makes greatness look routine, that is when legends start calling him terrifying. What made Tiger even more terrifying was the way other golf legends talked about him. These were men who had spent their lives competing under pressure, winning majors, and staring down the hardest moments the sport could offer. Yet, when they spoke about Tiger Woods at his peak, their words often sounded less like praise and more like warning. They knew they were not describing a normal rival. They were describing a force that could change the entire shape of a tournament with one charge up the leaderboard. Some admired his discipline. Others pointed to the aura. Many simply admitted that when Tiger was near the lead, everything felt different. Suddenly, a comfortable round felt fragile. A one-shot advantage felt useless. Players who had looked calm all week started making mistakes they normally never made. That was not an accident. Tiger created pressure just by existing in contention. Legends understood something casual fans sometimes missed. Fear in golf is not always loud. It can be silent. It can live in the hands during a short putt, in the mind before a tee shot, or in the feeling that perfection still may not be enough. That is what Tiger gave his opponents, not just a challenge, but a psychological burden. And when the greatest players in the world speak about one man with that kind of respect, you begin to understand why Tiger Woods felt so terrifying. Tiger Woods was different because he did not just dominate golf. He redefined what domination looked like. Most champions inspire respect. Tiger inspired tension. The moment he entered his prime, he became more than the best player in the field. He became the standard everyone else was judged against. And that is a heavy thing for any sport to carry. His athleticism, confidence, shot making, and mental toughness made him feel less like a traditional golfer and more like a once-in-a-generation competitor built for pressure. He also changed the image of golf itself. Before Tiger, greatness in golf often looked controlled, polished, and predictable. Tiger brought intensity, power, emotion, and danger. He made golf feel explosive. He made people watch with the same nervous energy they bring to boxing, basketball, or a final lap finish in racing. That alone separated him from almost everyone who came before him. But the biggest difference was belief. Tiger walked onto the course expecting to win, and everyone around him knew it. That belief was so strong, it often became contagious in the worst possible way for his rivals. It made them doubt themselves. And in a sport where confidence is everything, that was devastating. That is why Tiger Woods was not merely a champion. He was a presence, a storm, and for many legends of the game, one of the most terrifying competitors they had ever seen. Tiger Woods did more than win. He left behind a feeling that still lives in golf long after his most dominant years. When people talk about terrifying athletes, they usually think of physical violence, speed, or raw power. But Tiger proved that fear can look different. It can wear red on Sunday. It can walk calmly down the fairway. It can stare at a putt with total certainty while everyone else feels the moment getting heavier. That was Tiger's gift and his threat. He made pressure feel one-sided. That is why so many legends still speak about him with a mix of admiration and disbelief. They did not just witness an all-time great. Yeah, they witnessed a competitor who could change the emotional temperature of an entire sport. He made elite players nervous, made impossible shots feel expected, and turned major Sundays into psychological battles that usually ended in his favor. And maybe that is the strongest part of Tiger Woods' legacy. Golf has produced many champions. It has produced icons, record breakers, and unforgettable stars. But very few have ever made the greatest players in the world feel truly helpless. Tiger did. That is why his name still carries weight. That is why his peak still feels mythical. And that is why the world may never see another golfer as terrifying as Tiger Woods.